So today I will be introducing the P format, which is a nice way to structure your essay paragraphs. This format is very helpful because it helps you to organize your ideas and it is very dependable. If you stick with it for each paragraph, your points and ideas will be precise and developed. You will ideally have everything you need to write a good essay, provided that your points are also accurate, of course. I will use the rest of the presentation to explain every component and also to provide some examples too. So the first component of the P format is point. This is basically your topic sentence. Once you have your thesis, which is stated in the introduction, you must use each body paragraph to prove it, and this is the first step. It will be stated at the beginning of each body paragraph, and it represents a point, an idea that you will focus on for the remainder of that paragraph. And here's an example. We'll use this throughout the rest of the presentation. So say that you have an essay to write, and your thesis is that the author uses character, symbols, and motifs to explore the theme of revenge. The point of your first body paragraph would be dedicated to character. The second would be dedicated to symbols, and the third, motifs. For the character component of the thesis, your point might be that the author uses their grudge-holding protagonist to explore the themes of revenge. Now, the second component is evidence. Here you will want to provide evidence for the point you just made. Evidence can come in the form of quotes, examples. For essays on literature, you can cite specific chapters or scenes. And going back to the example we just used on revenge, you would find evidence to prove your point on character from the text. Maybe the protagonist drops friendships for small slights and holds grudges. Maybe they're spiteful by nature and act to get even. In this case, you would find scenes or quotes to reflect that. You cite them properly and you'll have your evidence for the paragraph on character. Afterward, you'll explain through analysis, which we'll cover next. So the last component of this format is analysis. When you get here, you are just explaining your evidence, you're analyzing it, you are showing the reader why it connects to the point. In our example thesis on revenge, we have already chosen a point for the first paragraph, character, if you remember, and we also found evidence to back that point up, the character's relationships and personality traits. So now we have to analyze. We have to explain why it all connects. How does the evidence connect? You would explain how the character's spiteful behavior and tendency to hold grudges proves your point. In the next slide, I will map it out completely and hopefully it all clicks together. So this is the full example thesis outline that we have been using so far. So the thesis is that an author of a random book, I didn't have one in mind really, uses character, symbols, and motifs to explore the theme of revenge. The point of the body paragraph 1 is that the author's grudge-holding protagonist embodies themes of revenge. Evidence would be the quotations and scenes that show the protagonist's poor relationship with others, their inability to hold onto friends, and their spiteful personality. And the analysis would point at scenes and quotations that show the character embodying these themes of revenge. They lose friends because they hold grudges and prioritize vengeance or getting even over connection. Now remember that you have to repeat this process for every body paragraph in your essay. In our example, we only really covered one, and usually you have three. So that's something to remember. And this is just an extra tip, but if you do not like to write by hand in notebooks, I would suggest opening an empty Google Doc and putting your P outline there so you have room to develop your ideas. It can get a little messy if you try to do it all in one document, right? So just make sure you have enough space to develop everything so you can meet every guideline you have to meet and get a good grade.